Well, well, well. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are the day after a humdinger of an evening last night. Those of you that made it past the 30-second mark or the 3-minute mark, congratulations if you made it to 30 minutes. This practice is what I'm going to call a post-debate meditative flow. We're gonna incorporate something that I think could have really, maybe they'll bring me in and I can just help coach them for the next debate or something. I don't know, but anyway, we're gonna let all that go. We're gonna step onto our mat. We're gonna breathe, and we're gonna have a great practice. Okay. Good morning, Serena. Any requests? Any requests? And if you make it through, my mic is being weird. I thought it was the toggle. It's not. It works. It's not. It's fine right now because I'm near the mic, and I'll check at least 1 or 2 times as we practice. But let me know if, as I walk away, I tested it before I went. Hi, Kens. I tested it before I started. Got it working. So hopefully it's going to be fine. But let me know if the sound gets faint. At least I'm inside, so I know you'll be able to hear. But anywho, any requests, send them my way. Otherwise, we're going to open up the front body a little bit today, okay? Haven't done this in a while. So, are you ready? Let's have a block, at least one. A block, a blanket, and a strap. If strap, optional, and everything's optional. You know me, I always will make us, we'll work with whatever we got. Just bring yourself, okay? All right, we're going to flip us around. Why do I feel like I haven't been on Facebook Live in a while? I miss you guys. I may have to do 2 days a week again because I'm missing you. Only 1 day. Okay. If you're just hopping on, you might want to stay just for this one part where we talk about a yogic principle that I feel like would shed a lot of light from last night. And we joked with our family, like, here, kids, come on over and look at how you don't interact. But what I want to talk about, find an easy seat. I'm going to grab my blanket. Is in yoga, and I talked about this yesterday, that yoga has nothing to do with flexibility, that yoga is so much more, and that there's so many principles that as we are navigating challenges in life or difficult people, that there are things that yoga teaches us that can really help us through this time. And even myself, could you feel, I wonder how they felt this morning. Brene Brown, I think she calls it a vulnerability hangover. Do you think that that's what, I'm not sure that there was any vulnerability there, but some kind of hangover. But what yoga, back to the yoga, but what yoga brings in is what is known as the 4 gates of speech. And I think this may even be in many religious cultures, so you're welcome to comment if that is true. I first heard of it from my yoga teacher, Nova. The 4 gates of speech. The 4 gates of speech. And the 4 gates of speech are, is it kind? I know you're going to all laugh here right now. Is it necessary? Is it the right time? Oh, and I just blanked on the 4th one. Look, I didn't write them down because they're so in me. It'll come to me. I'm not even going to worry about it. But let's just start with the first 3. Is it kind? Oh, is it useful? Is it kind? Is it useful? Is it necessary? And is it the right time? I think it's truthful, not useful. Is it truthful? I'm going to have to come back to that one. I'll make sure to get them. Kind, necessary, right time. Know those 3. Find an easy seat. We could all make up a 4th one. It's truthful. I'm 88.9% sure. I'm going to go with it. Close your eyes. Trust me, we'll get them all. But I know is it kind is like the one that's really there. Truthful, though, that one, helpful. Is it necessary? Mm. Is it necessary? Is it the right time? Okay, so easy to point fingers, easy to kind of laugh and chalk that all away, but I want you to think about it for yourself. And today, as you practice on your mat, I want you to think about those 4 things in regard to yourself. Are you kind to yourself? Are you kind? Are you truthful? Do you really speak truth into yourself? Do you speak belief into yourself? Is what you are sharing with yourself and with the world, is it necessary? And that's, there's a lot of different ways you could take that one. I like to think, does it have purpose, right? So if I do something, if it's necessary, if it has a drop of purpose in there, I'm more likely to lean in. And then, is it the right time? That's where I feel like this time on the mat helps you tap into that space of inner intuition and gut instinct. So you just take this time for yourself. We're going to work on opening up the front body a little bit. Eyes are closed right now. And I want you to take one hand to your abdomen. Feel the belly expand out as you breathe. Feel the belly draw back as you breathe out. Belly expanding out as you breathe in. Belly contracting back as you breathe out. So along with these 4 gates of speech, what also comes up, I feel like, is our capacity to listen. Not to just listen to respond, but listen to understand. Big difference. Big difference. Let's fold the hands together in front of the heart. Anjali Mudra, take a moment, set your intention. What drew you to your mat today? And as we move through a very healing practice, we will continue to contemplate these 4 gates of speech. And I know that speech is outward, but it begins within, always. And then let your chin gently bow down towards your chest. Allow your hands to come down onto your legs, and inhale, lift your chin, open your eyes. It doesn't matter to me which shin is in front. Go ahead and just keep it there. I want you to reach your right hand behind you. Reach your left arm up to the sky, okay? So just make the back hand comfortable. It might even be comfortable to have a block back there. So inhale, open the chest. Now if this bothers your head, just take the top hand, instead of reaching it up, hold the back of your head. Open it up. And then exhale, come forward. And now left hand behind you, inhale, reach up. Exhale. So what I'm doing in that back arm is I'm bending the elbow in towards my spine a little bit. So I'm turning my fingers so that I can bend the elbow. Inhale, which will allow right now my right shoulder blade to hug into the back of the heart a little more. And then down. And now left hand behind. Inhale. Bend that left elbow. So you can't really see it, but I'm bending the elbow in, dropping the shoulder out of the ear. And back. Again, inhale. Connecting into the back of the heart. Inhale, circling up. Hand can be flat or on fingertips, whichever feels better. Good. Let's go one more each side. Inhale, breathe in. And down. And left hand behind. Inhale, in. And and down. Now we're going to switch whatever cross of your leg. I want you to put the other one in front. Okay, I'm still on my blanket. We're going to do a little flossing of the shoulder blades. So I want you to take your arms into a cactus shape. So in order to kind of tap into the back of the heart, we really want to feel the different components of the spine, okay? So right now we're tapping primarily more into your upper thoracic spine, so below your neck, okay, those 12 up above your lumbar spine. So arms are in cactus, elbows are in line with shoulders, but they're out in front of you. And so we're going to do one arm at a time. So I want you to hug, like someone's almost pushing into your whole palm and forearm. Hug the right arm back, like somebody's almost like you're reaching back to do a football, but you're not grabbing a football and throwing it, but you're not turning the whole chest with it, okay? Just the arm. Right arm back and forward. Inhale, left arm back. So what I want you to feel is the shoulder blade, the scapula, hugging in towards the spine and almost down a little bit. In and down. And forward. Open and forward. Now you're going your pace. Open. Can you feel it? It starts to get tired actually kind of quickly. Back and forward. Back. Now you could do this sitting in chair. So sitting cross-legged doesn't work in your body. You could also do it standing up. Okay? So healing practice, make it for you. Last side, left and forward. Okay, roll your shoulders around for a minute. Okay, roll them around. Switch the other way. We're gonna do it again, and I know that makes the shoulders tired. So, all right, again, arms out in front of you, kind of on a diagonal, humerus coming out from the heart. So now you're doing both. So as if somebody's both hands, draw back, open the heart, inhale, and then push forward, and just be more neutral, exhale. There you go. Inhale, open. I'm so glad we could come together today. Exhale, whenever you are doing it. I'm glad you're here. Inhale, open. Takes a village, right? So share this. Like if you enjoy this or any other practice you've done, inhale, open. Share them. It's the best thing we can do. Help give the world. Inhale, open. A little more peace, a little more calm. Back. One more time. I know those shoulders are kind of on fire. Inhale. And down. Very good. Again, roll the shoulders. Roll the shoulders. Totally normal that would feel very tiring, okay? Very tiring. It's tiring for me too. Back around. Interlace your hands behind your back. Now I'm going to push my knuckles on my blanket. If you're not sitting on a blanket, you can push your knuckles down into the ground. I'm actually going to take them off the blanket so I get a little more stretch. My arms are straight behind me. Inhale, lift your chest. Open up. Now my gaze is lifted a little bit, but if that bothers your neck, just look down your chest. Okay, be mindful that you're not compressing in your cervical spine. You're just throwing the head back. You can lengthen the back of the neck. Feel your throat draw back, your chin draw back, so you get that sexy double chin. Yep. And bring it back up. Good. All right, let's come around to all fours. I'm going to take the blanket out of the way. Now, if you need it for padding, keep it there. Keep it there. Spread your fingers. Take your knees so they're just a hair behind the hips. And we're going to do some shoulder rolls in your tabletop, okay? So just the shoulders, just the shoulders. So I want you to roll the shoulders. So if you need a little more guidance, take the shoulders towards the ears. That feels tight, right? Drop the upper chest between the upper arms. Now draw the shoulders out of the ears and then push the earth away so the shoulder blades protract. And then just repeat forward, and eventually it won't feel so mechanical. You could also do this on the forearms if you have wrist injuries. Good. Now go the other way. It's going to feel a little more awkward. And what's nice about awkward, that's right, I just called it nice, is that you have to slow down a little bit. Very good. Very good. All right, come back to a neutral spine. Okay, that was in the upper back here. I want you to do just upper back, cat and cows. Just upper back. Keep your head neutral. So just melt the heart between the upper arms, and then exhale, push it away. Melt the heart. Exhale, push it away. Again, you can be on forearms here. One more. Melt the heart. Keep the belly toning. It's not just dropping. Exhale. Good. Now just do the head. Look forward. Don't overdo it. Just gaze forward. And exhale, drop your chin. Look towards your chest. Inhale, lift the head. Again, don't overdo it here. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Now you're going to do lumbar sacrum. Keep the thoracic and the cervical spine, the two we just did, as neutral as you can. So drop the belly, groins back. Exhale. Tailbone down. Inhale. Try not to move the shoulders. Try not to move the shoulders. Exhale. Tone your pelvic floor. Take one more breath. Breathe in. Exhale. Good. Back to neutral. Breathe in. Come up, sit on the shins. Come up and stand on your shins. Roll the shoulders back. Reach the arms up towards the sky. You're going to cactus your arms and twist to the right. So we can get off those wrists for a moment. Notice your right shoulder blade. Hug that shoulder blade in. Try to keep the left frontal hip point back. Reach the arms up. Breathe in. Twist left. Inhale. Twist right. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, last one, twisting left. Exhale, twist. Inhale, up. Good, broken toe pose. Now, if you can't do broken toe pose, it may be more accessible if you did have a block to put your block the flat way on top of the heels. If you've got a knee injury you're working with, I just want you to stay up on the shins, okay? All right, so either with block or sans block, no block. Tuck the toes, spread your pinkies. This is so good for us, whether it's opening hamstrings, back, anything, all the connective tissues on the soles of the feet connect to everything else too. So we want to open up those feet a little bit. Now I'm going to take my block. If you're not sitting on a block and you happen to have one, I'm going to take mine behind me. And I want you to reach your right hand behind you and reach your left arm up towards the sky. Now as the arm goes up, draw your tailbone down just a little bit to keep your low back safe. And then exhale back. And then switch. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, here's phase one. Now if you want, you can lift the hips, but I want you to feel like you're lifting more like a plank, not like camel. So whole back body lifts. Inhale. Exhale. So it's almost more of a thigh stretch, shoulder stretch, okay, than a back bend here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. So if I'm on the shins, I'm just going to be taking one hand to the back and lower. Let's do one more each side. Hand to the low back, and I don't have a block, so this is my adjustment. And lower. Last time. Lift and lower. Very good. Walk the hands out in front of you. Walk the hands out in front of you. You're going to step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. I'm going to grab my block, bring it to the outside of my right foot. Outside of my right foot. Now, you can untuck your back toes if you like. I want you to bring your left hand up onto your left thigh and push into that hand a little bit. So you draw the belly back. I'm going to slide my block back so it's a little bit more next to my hip, and I'm going to actually turn the block so my fingertips point away from my body. Reach your left arm up towards the sky, and then you have the option here, side bend over to the right. Hug this right shoulder blade, that's the bottom one, in towards your spine. Good. Take another deep breath. And then sweep this left arm in front of you as you straighten your left leg. Okay, Ardha Hanuman, flex your right toes. Flex your right toes. Draw back through the pinky side of your right foot and stretch your sternum forward. Hand can come off the block if you like. Take one more breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. So again, think of it more as a heart opener. Now bend into the lunge and inhale, cactus your arms. I'm going to tuck my back toes. It just feels a little more stable. You can always keep the toes untucked. Inhale, open the chest. And now exhale, back off your lunge a little bit and bring your forearms together and bow your gaze towards the ground. Inhale, open. Ooh, little wobbly. Yep. If you're wobbling, you're doing it right. Exhale. If this bothers your knee, remember, pad your knee. One more time. Inhale, open, open, open. Shoulder blades on the back. We've done this a couple times now. Exhale. Now hook your thumbs. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Breathe in. Try to pull the thumbs apart just a little bit. And now I want you to bend your elbows. Hug the shoulders. Release the shoulders out of the ears. Hug your shoulder blades on your back. Draw your belly button back. Keep all of that and stretch your arms straight or straighter. Keep tugging the thumbs apart. Good. And then release. Hands to the ground. Right foot back. Now, if you like, you can take a down dog in between, or you can take a puppy pose and bring the forehead to the floor. Okay, either one. Either one. Take a breath in. Maybe you open your mouth and you let it go. Now, sometimes we have commentary, right? Internal commentary when we practice. Sometimes that commentary is supportive, it's kind. And sometimes it's not, and it's not truthful either. Nor is it necessary. And yet we find ourselves doing it. So these gates of speech, come back to the knees or come up onto the knees. Left side, left foot to the outside of the hand. I'm going to grab my block and just sweep it over outside my left hip. Right hand on your right thigh. Can be so helpful. Is it kind? Is it truthful? Is it necessary? And is it the right time? Good. Push into this hand. A big stretch for your psoas here on this right side. You might even notice it into your quad. And then left hand on the block. Again, I'm turning my fingertips so they're pointing away from my body. Reach your right arm up to the sky. And then I'm going to take the side bend over to the left. Pad your right knee if necessary. This arm bone, very easy to sit in it. So you're pushing into the hand, hugging the arm bone back, drawing your left scapula in towards the spine, down your back. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, sweep your right arm in front of you. And as you do, straighten your left leg, coming toward an Ardha Hanuman. Flex your toes. Stretch your sternum. Now, it's okay here if your knee is bent. I want you to think about this more as not a back bend, but an extension of your spine and not a flexion, not a rounding of the spine. Extension of the spine. So bend the knee if necessary. Dig into your left heel. Pull back on the pinky side of the foot and push through your big toe mound in your inner heel. Now we're rebending into that left leg. Make sure your feet, your front foot, back knee are hip distance apart. We're coming into cactus arms. Hug in. So it's as though somebody's pushing into your forearms. Hug in. The shoulder blades help lift the heart up. And then exhale now, flex. Forearms together, gaze down and back off the lunge a little. Inhale, open. Exhale. Once more. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Now just go hook your thumbs right here, other one in front, and stretch them up towards the sky. Bend your elbows a little bit. Relax the shoulders out of the ears. Tone the abdomen. Draw the belly button back. Draw the shoulder blades into the back of the heart a little bit more. And as you keep all of that, stretch the arms up. And it's up to you how much you deepen into that lunge. Keep the tailbone dropping down. Pubic bone lifting up. Good. And then release hands down to the ground. Step back, down dog or puppy pose. Take your time. Breath in. Let it go. Breath in. Release. Let it go.
Breath in. Let it go. Heels rise. Inhale. Slowly step forward towards the top of your mat. Bend the knees as much as you need to transition. I'm going to keep my feet about hip width apart. Extend the sternum forward. Exhale, fold and bow. Take a ragdoll as you roll your way all the way up to standing. Take your time. Shoulder blades roll onto the back. Head comes up last. Good. Arms release by your sides. Reach the arms up. Breathe in. Good. Now cactus your arms and put a little bit of a bend in your knees. Good. Bend the knees. Lift the heart. Reach back up. Straighten the legs. Little bend in the knees. Cactus the arms. Once more. Breathe in. Exhale. Now stand, but release your arms behind your back. Inhale, open your chest. Separate your feet a little bit wider. Hinge from your hip crease so your heart goes forward and forward fold. Now you can bend deep into the legs, letting the belly entirely rest on the thighs. Those of you more open here, you can have straighter legs. That's just fine. Relax your head and neck. Inhale, release your hands down to the ground. Gaze forward. Good. And right leg's going to step back. We're going to come into a straddle. So cartwheel all the way up, and we're going to bring heels in, toes out. So you might want to turn so you can face and see your camera if you need to, or your computer. Take your arms out wide towards the sides and bend into horse stance, goddess pose. So heels are in, knees are tracking in the same direction as your toes, and we're going to reach the arms up, palms facing up. Good. Now, feel like somebody's holding and hugging onto your wrists, and they're pulling your arms out. And then bend the elbows and feel it hug in into the back of the heart. Feeling the heart almost like you're having a heart opener here, belly drawing back. So reach out and then draw in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach, sink a little deeper. Inhale, open, hug elbows in. Exhale, reach. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now straighten your legs for a moment. Hands to prayer at the heart. Pause. Take a full breath. Is it kind? Is it truthful? Is it necessary? And is it the right time? Those are those 4 gates. I'd start to bend back into the legs. Bend back into the legs. Thinking about how we even respond, right? How do we respond in our practice when the body starts to get fiery? Is that when the mind starts to go? Or do you plug into the breath deeper in those times? Yeah, arms reach out, palms up. Now right forearm to right thigh, left arm's going to stretch up and over. Big side body stretch. Hug, even here, watch if you're dropping in. Push into the forearm, hug the right shoulder blade in. And then back to center. Hug both shoulder blades in, little bend in those elbows. Left forearm down, right arm reaching over. Right arm reaching over. Can you feel the heart opening as you curl the top chest back, keeping the bottom arm bone back as well? Good, bring it back up. Inhale, straighten the legs, hands to heart. Exhale. Turn your left toes in, turn your right toes out, reach the arms out wide. Now, take your left hand for today to the hip, and I want you to reach your right arm forward, prepping for triangle. Reach the right arm forward. So if you want your block, grab it and bring your hand down to your block or to your shin. If you don't have a block, shin is good. All right, now we're going to take a little bit of a back bend movement, and I don't want you to overdo this. Take your left arm straight out in front of you and hug the arm bone back. Now, from here, just bend the elbow and take the hand behind the head. Keep from the elbow to armpit, suck the armpit back. So it's like you're hollowing out like an avocado pit. Okay? And then just start to keep the elbow just like it is. Just start to lay the head back a little bit. You feel almost a sense of a back bend in your triangle pose. You don't need to overdo it here. So instead of letting the elbow tip out to the sky, I'm still keeping it right in line, forearm hugging kind of towards my left temple. Open up the chest. Open up the chest. Keep the bottom arm hugging in as well. Good. Now bring your head back to neutral. Bring your spine back to neutral. Hold on to the block if you've got it and bring it all the way back up. Good. Turn your right toes in. Switch your block over, right hand to hip. Reach forward with your left arm and then left hand down outside that left leg. Right hand staying on the hip for a moment. Push into your back foot. Your back inner groin is going back. And then the outer left seat carving under. Right arm's going to sweep out in front of you. Hug the arm bone back. Keep the belly button toning towards the spine and just bend your elbow. Put your right hand behind your head. Keep the forearm kind of hugging in towards your face and just start to lay back. It's like you're trying to curl over a big giant ball that's behind your back. Good. Take another breath. Push into that back foot. Keep pushing in the back foot. So big stretch across the back right hip here. Opening up through the rib cage, you may feel it. Now bring your spine back to neutral. Reach the right arm to the sky. Hug your feet together and inhale, rise. Come all the way back up. Hands together. Turn both feet in. Hands together at the heart. Close your eyes. Now what the mind does quite well is it recalls things, right? It recalls events, it recalls thoughts, experiences. And in any given moment, then it can fire off our nervous system. Although nothing is happening right now other than in this moment we are doing yoga, or maybe at the moment you might be, doing whatever. You could be in your kitchen after you get off your mat and you start thinking about something and all of a sudden everything fires as if it's happening right now. And that's the moment that I want you to take 5 deep breaths. 5 deep breaths. So let's do it right now. 5 deep breaths. Breathing in. Legs are strong. Breathing out. 1 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Very good. All right. Take your hands to your hips and then kind of take the thumbs so they're a little closer towards your back. Doesn't that feel better? Just 5 deep breaths. It's like, Inhale. Maybe you're already feeling good, but later that might be useful. Squeeze your elbows together. Lift your chest. Now we're only coming halfway. Only halfway. Exhale. Hinge. I'm going to move this block out of the way. Hinge halfway. So your back has to work here. Good. And then inhale, come up. So we're just getting this movement in the legs and starting to work a little more in the back too. Exhale. Inhale up. Now, if you're feeling good there, I want you to stay there. Otherwise, I want you to reach your arms out wide. Turn your palms facing forward. And as we tip, the palms will face the ground. Exhale. Hinge. Now stay here. If you're feeling good, stay here. If you want to add on a little bit, take your right hand, set it behind your head. Take your left hand, put it at your low back. Bend your knees a little bit. My left palm is facing up. Now hover your hands off the back and off the head. Inhale. Now switch. Exhale. So now they're hovering the other way. Inhale. Exhale, switch. I know this is challenging, so just don't go down quite as far. And in fact, you can even work this upright, right? That's a big movement. Exhale. 1 more. Breathe in, staying here. Twisting on the exhale, twisting the hands. Exhale. Good. Come all the way up. Arms reach back. Palms face forward. Exhale, arms by your sides. Good. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Interlace your hands behind you. Roll your chest open. Breathe in. Forward fold. Now I'm going to leave that block there and let the top of my head just connect onto that block. If you don't have one, again, don't worry. If If you don't want to use it, not necessary. So what you may find as you leave the mat and you think about these 4 teachings is almost having awareness too when you're interacting with people, right? These begin to guide our values, who we want to spend more time with, who fills us up, who fills our cup, and also who drains us, right? We have to start being honest with ourselves, because if we aren't going to do it, who will? Release your hands down to the ground. Inhale, stretch your heart forward. Walk your hands back around towards the front of your mat. And let's take a child's pose. Drop down onto the knees. Big toes touch. Now you can take your knees wide, and if child's pose doesn't work with a knee injury, just come up into puppy pose, forehead to the floor. Hands can be wherever you like. I have them back by my feet for the moment. You're welcome to reach them out. And then if your arms are back like mine are, I want you to bring them out in front of you. I'm going to give an option with a block and without a block. So we're going to come toward a puppy pose. Bring your hips over your knees. If you have no block, forehead to the floor, palms together, and you're going to bend the elbows and rest your thumbs on the nape of the neck. If you have a block, my other block is over there, so I'm just going to have to work with one. I want you to take your wrists so that your hands are able to drape over the block. There's a big heart opener here and a big shoulder opener. So push, so I'm not just dropping in the shoulder here. Push into the underside of the forearm, hugging the arm bones in the socket, and then allow your heart or your forehead, whatever, hopefully both, start to melt between. Your forehead may not touch the ground. You might need some support there if it feels like too much to have it hanging. Keep pushing into those wrists a little bit. Let your hands just dangle over the block. If you had 2 blocks, it would be nice. You could have one under each forearm. And I want you to take 5 more deep breaths, okay? I know this is a big pose. If it's too much, you can come out at any point. I know it doesn't seem like it would be a lot, but it actually is. Last deep breath. Okay, now I've got the block, so I'm going to let one elbow drape until it hits the ground, and the other elbow drape till it hits the ground, and then let my block come down. Walk your hands in. Just that was an easier transition in my body. Take your hands, bring them back underneath you. Good. Take your right shin, and you're going to swivel your right shin out to the right on a 45-degree angle. We're going to come to balance on the right hand. Reach your left arm up towards the sky. Now, your bottom wrist is in line with the shoulder. Sometimes I take mine just a hair in front. So again, you're pushing in and you're hugging that right shoulder blade into the spine, down the back. Okay, reach the left arm up. And then you're going to pick, if you can, left leg up. Zip the low belly in. Bend the top knee, reach back and catch your foot. Now, if you can't catch the foot, you have a strap. Go ahead, grab that strap, okay? Kick back into the hand, open the chest. Now, if you want to curl back like you did in triangle a little bit, you're almost looking kind of where the ceiling and the wall meet. And then with control, release, leg back. Good. And then come down into a Shiva squat. You're going to come towards the back of your mat. If you can't come down again with a knee injury, you're just going to be up high like this. If you can come down into a Shiva squat, you're coming down onto that heel. Hands to prayer, either way. Left elbow against your left leg if you're low. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now if you're low, I want you to reach left hand down, right arm up. If you're up high, just almost like a side angle, forearm on the thigh, top arm reaching up. Good. Open the chest. Now cactus that top arm. Feel that top shoulder blade connect in a little bit more. Use your left arm against your left leg. Good. And then right hand back down. Walk yourself forward. Good. And we're going to switch sides. All right. Left foot, you're going to swivel that left shin off to the left. Right foot stretches back. Right arm reaches up. Okay. Be mindful that we're not dropping in that left shoulder. Push into the hand. Hug the left scapula in towards the spine, down the back. And then draw the belly in as you lift right leg up. Bend your right knee. Reach back. Catch your foot. Now, the thigh goes back, and as the thigh goes back, as you're kicking the foot back, you're going to take the tailbone forward. Tailbone forward. Spread your toes on your right foot. Open the sternum. Maybe lift your gaze. And with control, let go. Right leg back, right arm up. Coming back into a Shiva squat, back of your mat. Turn around here. Bending right leg. Remember, you can be up high. Both of us, whichever position, hands are at our heart. Take a breath. Right arm down or right forearm on the thigh. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. Open it up. I can assure you that these 4 gates are here because it brings us into a greater sense of alignment. Right? Think about it when you're not kind, whether it is in just your own thoughts or you hear even somebody else. It's like it literally knocks us out of our vibration, right? A good vibration. Only good vibes, right? Only good vibes. Good. And then hands back. Walk your hands back to the front of your mat. Step it back. Down dog or puppy pose. Just let those legs straighten because they've been in some flexion here. So let them find extension. You could also take a wide-legged straddle. If down dog is too much, just take a wide-legged straddle so you can have some extension in your legs as well. Take one more breath. Breathe in. Let it go. We're going to come onto the belly. Inhale forward to plank. Now, I always give permission. This is healing. Put your knees down anytime you need to. And exhale all the way down onto the belly. Let's take Sphinx pose. Forearms out in front of you. Elbows are right underneath your shoulders. We're going to untuck the feet. Now, if you get a little cranky in the back, you can take your feet a little bit wider. Also taking your gaze a little bit more towards the navel. Both of those will help a little bit. Draw the tailbone down. Push into your forearms and energetically pull your heart between your 2 upper arms. And then also, as you energetically are dragging your hands back, your elbows back towards your hips, feel like you're trying to pull your forearms out from each other. And that kind of zips the shoulder blades onto the back a little bit more. I know it's hard to do 2 movements, sort of, especially you're not really moving them. It's more of a just a feeling that you're doing. So either focus on one so you can kind of feel one, and then try to energetically pull the hands apart. Feel that one. You're playing in the paradox of being able, can I let go and have to have some strength happening, the stira and the sukha at the same time. Stira, the strength, the stability. Sukham is the ease. Take another breath. And release. Okay, let your either forehead down, you can stack your hands, or bring one cheek to the mat. We're going to take a thigh stretch with our back bend here. And so there's going to be a lot of options again because we want to make sure this is a healing practice that it is for you. So we're on the belly, and I'm going to start with the most gentle version, and we'll continue to work our way up, okay? So if you already know you can go deeper, just go there right away. Keep your knees in so they're hip distance apart. I'm starting with my left elbow out to the side, and my forehead's resting on the back of my left hand. So my left forearm is parallel with the front edge of the mat. I'm going to bend my right knee, reach back, catch right foot. And I'm just going to stay low here like this for the thigh stretch. Okay, so if I've got back pain I'm working with, I want you just to stay here. Now, if you know you can go a little deeper, you have two options here. You can kick this right foot back and lift your chest a little more, and then you're kind of working with the heart opening, the shoulder opening, or you can take it more into a thigh stretch, okay, with the back bend. So you start with the outside of the foot. Some of you are going to take a C grip. So your thumb is on the inside, your four fingers are on the outside, and you're turning in the same direction as your toes. Now, to go deeper, I turn my left forearm so it's back in a sphinx position. So I have to come out to do that. And then some of you might even lift your left elbow up, taking it even a little bit deeper. Gaze is forward if you're looking up, or if your chest is up. Don't worry if your forearm is on the ground and your head is down. And then slowly let go and just pause. Okay, just notice the difference, other cheek to the mat. Notice side to side. There is something for everyone in this practice. Some days it's just coming and breathing, right? You don't even have to do the movement. Second side, bending left knee. Some of us, we're starting with the forehead on the back of the right hand, holding the outside of the foot. If you can't get your foot, you just grab a strap. Some of you, you're welcome to push up. You can kick the foot back for more of a heart opener, and if you want more of the thigh opener, again, you may want to turn your right forearm, pull the foot in. You can work holding the outer edge of the foot. Some of you working towards your C-shape, thumb in, four fingers wrapping around. Some of you starting to spin your fingertips in the same direction as your toes. Keep pushing your right foot down into the ground. Turn your left rib cage, if you're lifted, more forward. And some of you, I'm not there today, but some of you might even be lifting right elbow, maybe up off the ground, coming onto your right hand. Nice part of the home practice is you really get to honor yourself and be where you are today. And then gently, with control, release your back foot. Maybe you stack your hands this time just so your spine is more neutral. Wiggle out those hips, maybe even bend the knees, windshield wiper side to side. Good. And we're going to roll over here onto the back, okay? So make sure you have one block handy if you have it, and if you don't, we'll always give adjustments for that, okay? Coming over onto the back, I want you to take your feet wide and let your knees knock in. Take one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Pause for just a moment. And then heel toe your feet in a little closer so that they're hip distance apart. Now we're going to take a bridge pose. Now if you don't have a block, but you have something, even like a couple of pillows or a couple of blankets, you could stack them up so that you have a supported bridge. It doesn't have to be a block. Those of us that have a block, you can go any height you'd like. Just make sure the block is going under the sacrum. We're going to push into the feet. The toes are pointing forward. We'll elevate the hips. And we're going to slide the block underneath. So I'm going to go middle height here today. So very important here that if you're not sure what to do, that you aren't turning your head towards your phone or your computer, that you're keeping your gaze up. So come out if you need to look at any point and then come back in, okay, because that helps protect our neck. Push the back of your head just gently into the earth. We're practicing surrendering, just releasing the weight of the pelvis into the block. And I'm going to give an option here. Again, you may need to come out to look, and it's completely optional, only if you feel like you would like another thigh stretch. If you're feeling so good here, you're going to stay right here, okay? So if you'd like an additional thigh stretch, it's hard to do if your block's on the lowest height, but if you're on the middle or the highest height, it definitely can work. You're going to take your right foot, and you're just going to start to draw your foot back towards your right glute. And you might be able to reach your foot, and then you can kind of help it along. So dragging, I keep my toes tucked because then I get a stretch through the sole of the foot. Some of you might like your foot, the top of your foot, totally on the floor. You might get a Charlie horse in the sole of your foot, but it does feel good. Today's mine's okay. So I'm going to put the top of my foot on the floor and then reaching through the tailbone, opening up the heart here. And remember, bridge, regular bridge, you're staying there. Those of us taking the thigh stretch, I want you to switch your feet. Those of you in bridge, if you like, I want you to take legs up. And those of us taking the thigh stretch, you're going to have a chance to do that too. So legs up in a supported shoulder stand. If you're dragging your toes back or the top of your foot to the floor, lengthen through your tailbone. If you don't have a block, you're just in bridge, okay? If you're tired because you're holding that a lot longer without support, you come out whenever you need to. Now, if you have no block and you do have a wall, hopefully in your house, those of us in the thigh stretch come out. Let's all take legs up. So if you have no block, come over to a wall, put your right or your left hip up against the wall. You're sitting right next to it, and you're going to slide your legs up the wall, okay? Doing legs up the wall pose. I want you to notice your throat right now. In your supported bridge or in your legs up the wall, I want you to feel your Ujjayi breath vibrating across the back of your throat. Starting to say to yourself these 4 gates of speech. Is it kind? Is it truthful? Is it necessary? And is it the right time? Take your legs in from the air. I want you to bend so that the soles of your feet come together. Is it kind? Is it truthful? Is it necessary? Is it the right time? Good. Now, whether your legs are up the wall or you're in a supported shoulder stand, take the legs out wide. I've got the wall in my way. So if you need to, you can always take your hands and hold on to the backs of the hamstrings, or even hold on to the inner part of the hamstrings, reaching on the inside of the legs. Saying the 4 gates of speech. Is it kind? Is it truthful? Is it necessary? Is it the right time? Good. And then come into what feels like a frog pose. So bend your knees from this wide-legged straddle. Hold the front of your shins just below your knees. Again, you can do this up the wall. You just may have to scooch back a little bit for this one. Put the outer edges of your feet against the wall. And then one more time. Is it kind? Is it truthful? Is it necessary? And is it the right time? And then gently bring your knees back together. Set one foot to the floor. Set the other foot to the floor. Push down into both your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up. Slide your block out from underneath you. Take your arms into a cactus shape. Heel toe your feet out wide again. Knees knock in. Notice if there's any vibration happening, maybe in the sacrum, or in the legs and the feet. Put your right foot down, right in line with your hip. Left ankle crosses over above your right knee. Thread the eye of the needle. Hands come behind the back of your right hamstring. Draw your chin down so it's level with your forehead. Can we practice in a way that we aren't having judgment on ourselves? Can we have awareness without judgment? That's a really advanced space to be in. And then we're going to take it into sleeping pigeon. The key to sleeping pigeon is that if you're tighter, the foot will be further away from your shoulder, and if you're more open, the left foot will be closer towards your right shoulder. So we're going to tip your legs over to the right. Now I'm going to take my right hand and hold the outer edge of my right foot. I'm going to use my right leg, that's my bottom one that's on the ground, and use it to scooch my whole left foot closer towards my right shoulder. It's a real twister of a movement, right, left. Thank goodness there's only two sides. Now, your left hand, if you like, you can bring it just onto the inner knee very gently. You're trying to bring that knee back up a little bit as you're holding on with your right hand on the outer edge of your left foot. Feel like somebody is doing an adjustment for you and moving the outer flesh of your left hip, like they're trying to draw it towards the floor. You feel that? Good. And then kind of bring it all back up to center. Take your legs into the air, just sort of shake them out. You can even shake like dead bug, right? Shake your arms, shake your legs. And then switching sides, left foot to the floor, right ankle hooks over left knee, thread the hands behind the back of the hamstring. Draw the chin down, forehead level with chin. Gently bring your left thigh toward you. Flex your top foot, move your right ankle bone if you can, just outside your left knee. Keep moving your sitting bones towards the floor as your left thigh continues to come toward you. Coming into sleeping pigeon, left hand is going to hold your outer edge of your right foot, and we're going to tip it over to the left. Now my bottom leg, my left one, I'm going to use it to scooch my right foot closer towards my left shoulder. My right arm's in a cactus shape, or you can do what you did on the first side and use the right hand on the inner knee and just very gently tilt that knee up. This is an incredibly intense pose when you find, like, where is the stretch? How do I get the shape that I can really, it gets in a totally different spot than figure 4 that you just did, the thread the eye of the needle. Different than the Gomukhasana on the back. Really into these external rotators of the hip. So reach out to me if you have questions. I can try and help if you're not tapping into that. All right, bring it back up. Uncross the leg. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Take a happy baby pose, just something symmetrical. If you prefer a different symmetrical pose, like you like the soles of the feet together or something else, go ahead and take that as well. I love a good old happy baby. And then draw your thighs towards your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Give yourself a big squeeze. Curl up into a tiny ball. Curl, curl, curl. And then exhale.
Release. Let it all come down. Legs extend out into Shavasana. Palms face up. And this truly, yogis, is our most important pose. Okay? I know it's easy to turn it off, all done. Mm-mm. This is the advanced work right here, right? Being able to stay with it, making this time the priority. That Shavasana is more important than I would rather have you cut out half the rest of the practice if you needed to, so that you made sure you could get Shavasana. And I always encourage that in my classes. If someone needs to buzz out early, please give yourself at least a couple of minutes in Shavasana. Closing the eyes. I want you to notice the base of your spine. Bring the awareness to the base of your spine. And then feel the breath start to move into the low belly, into the pelvis. Feel the breath gliding up to the solar plexus, the abdomen region. Noticing how the breath rises and falls. And then again, moving up towards your heart. Maybe bending your elbows just a little bit in Shavasana and hug your upper arm bones in a little bit more so you feel the heart elevate a little more. And then relax your arms. Notice your throat, where our speech comes from. The way we use our voice to speak our truth. Drop towards your third eye, the midbrain. And then feel energy at the crown of your head and almost hovering above you and around you. When we are in alignment, that is when the yogis say the Kundalini rises through those 7 chakras. Continue to feel that energetic light beaming within you and all around you. And when it's time to come out, you'll hear me ring a soft bell.
space. Feeling the breath move from the low belly to the heart. Moving your fingers also in your toes. Stretch your arms over your head. Take a big full body stretch. Bend your knees. Place your feet to the floor. Roll to your right side. And bring your body up to an easy seat, palms together, back at your heart. Anjali Mudra. May these practices be a training ground for when we step off of our mat, for when our real work begins. May we use the teachings and the principles like the gates of speech. Is it kind? Is it truthful? Is it necessary? And is it the right time? To guide us, to become aware, and to practice a state of awareness without judgment. To recognize when we are not in the moment, and to bring ourselves back. As we draw thumbs up to third eye, thank you, yogis, truly, for always showing up for yourselves, for sharing your light with the world. It was my honor to guide you today. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. A couple quick announcements. Tomorrow, I'm doing a Zoom class through a studio called Kula Yoga, and you can take that. It's 10 a.m. Central Time. It's a full moon flow on Zoom. So if you'd like the link for that, I will post that below. And if you want to Venmo or do PayPal ever and do donations for these practices, you are also more than welcome to. Never expected, but always appreciated. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week. Until next time, remember those gates of speech. Don't get yourself all in a bundy now, just with thought alone. Okay? We're in the moment. Keep your zen and go forth. Have a great day.